up, y'all? Welcome back to Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever, period.
Her.
Y'all,
Ooh.
the Fields children are
Child.
acting up. Cerie's kids all over the place.
Child.
All over the place.
Secrets are
Arguing with
getting
each other,
spilled.
questioning her.
Comments are being said. There's a lot
Statements
going
are being
on. There's a lot going
made.
on.
Preferences are being had.
Preferences.
Uh,
Mm.
let's start with
Mm.
Izzy. So,
Izzy Fields.
Izzy Fields. Izzy Fields, I love Izzy. I'm sorry.
I do. I hate to love her. I hate to
At
love her. I
first,
do.
I was like, now that's my sister,
She's entertainment.
my
She's
little
also
sister,
Jared's sister.
and also we're all Cerie's kids.
Right.
So Izzy has started, we see, to question Cerie's loyalty to her, really,
Basically.
literally.
Mm-hmm.
She approaches Jared, her brother. She approaches Jared about essentially feeling like, well, first, she talks to the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And when she talks to the cameras, she tells us, she's like, am I putting too much trust in Cirie?
Mm-hmm.
Am I getting played? What do you think, Lee?
I mean, I think it's interesting because she's basically just mentioning like she doesn't know what she's gonna do in a final three scenario. Like, does she want to sit in final three with them? I mean, and this was yesterday, but days before she also, like you were mentioning, questioned Cirie's loyalty to her to Jared directly, and he had to calm her down a little bit. So I just think it's interesting. I feel like honestly, the type of personality that Izzy gives, it just feels like this is not something she's going to be able to hold. I think that, I mean, at the end of the day, you came here to win this game, not lose to Jared and Cirie, you know? So I can definitely see how over time she just feels like one of them has to go, or I have to out the secret, or I have to start moving a certain way. But I told you this off the podcast. Like, I don't understand why she even would bring this to Jared, because she also brought these thoughts to Cirie after having the cam talk. Why she even goes to them with this? Because at the end of the day, if you were going to work against them, you're on their ass 24/7, 24 hours of the day. You're around Cirie and or Jared. So if you were to start working against them, that will require her not to talk to them 24/7, which I just honestly don't think is going to happen. So she's really only fucking herself up, because I can see it getting to a point for Cirie and Jared being like, okay, now she's doing too much. Like, if she ends up on the block, protect her for what? That's the thing. They don't gotta take her out.
Yeah.
Jag wins and he doesn't. Balloon. They're aligned with everyone in the game. Anyone can do it on their behalf.
Do you feel like? Don't you feel like Izzy benefits from her relationship with Jared and Izzy a lot, though?
She does. I think Cirie is clearly the best player this season and in this game currently. Your proximity to Cirie is how good your position is in this game, 100%. And because she's so close to her, Cirie is so good, she is now centered in the house. She's centered in the middle of the house because of Cirie. So I think she should ride that connection and use it, but that's the key word. Use it to your advantage. And I think that's what Corey is trying to do. I would honestly love if Corey and Izzy were to link up, kind of come to this conclusion, and, you know, I don't know, give Cirie an actual competition, because that could be interesting. Like, at the end of the day, if she wants to win the game, the move is to disperse and honestly get one of them out at some point. Both of them out at some point, honestly.
Do you think it needs to be because Izzy's closer to Cirie? Should it be she needs to take out Jared, or should it be she needs to take out Cirie because Cirie is the one who's literally going to win the game first? If she does make a move, if she makes a move, and it could be either one, and it's really up to Izzy, who do you think she should take out of the two?
Maybe Jared, because like I said, Cirie has been helping her out at this time, and I feel like Cirie is someone, depending on how the target gets put on her back, which I do think if Cirie and a Corey kind of come together and start, you know, spreading things, like it could, like, I think she could easily get targeted. It's just that everyone who has the ability to are loyal to the soil. So it's like, I do think that Jared should go ahead and go her earlier, and then she just use Cirie a little bit more towards the end.
Towards the end. I see it. Okay, perfect. Yes. So Izzy's been questioning this, and then she brings it to Cirie. And when she brings it to Cirie, she kind of starts literally just not even kind of. She literally is having a conversation with Cirie about who she's taking the final two over in Cirie's face. Is she going to take Jared? She's going to take Cirie. And Cirie's like, honestly, just don't even talk about it. You got it, girl. My thing is, what is Cirie thinking in all of this? A lot of people are like, Cirie might think Izzy got to go way quicker than she thought initially. And my thing is, I don't know if I feel that way. Do you think Cirie wants Izzy to the end? Is kind of my question. Or do you think Cirie prefers Felicia? And it's like just
I don't
waiting
know.
for
That's
Izzy
the
to
really
go.
interesting conversation because she keeps talking to Felicia about them two being in the final two seats.
Yeah.
I honestly think that she trusts Izzy, but a lot of the loyalty comes from the fact that she holds their secret. Because when Jared had to talk Izzy down from this edge that she was on about not trusting Cirie and thinking that she's getting Cirie, and you know, Jared told Cirie, and she was like, "Yeah, I know she doesn't. She probably doesn't. She's doubting me, but that's why you talk to her to keep her locked in." So it's like I think it's kind of like they honestly feel like they just have to deal with her. So like I don't really think. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know what Cirie even wants her in game to be necessarily because the way she's playing, it's like, what is it going to be? She's shifting alliances every single week, but I think it's like that's something she's going to worry about when she gets there. But I mean, if it's Cirie, Felicia, Izzy,
you know that's true.
Jared, kind of four, like Izzy, you're getting fourth. I think she will get fourth.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was telling you that
they would literally Keisha her.
Yep, and she would know about it, and she would be like, guys, and she would cry all week.
And she would still be sad. That's what's going to be so annoying. She's going to get cut at Final Four, and they're going to be like, because she's going to be mad that Felicia got chosen. It's like, girl, Felicia was always getting chosen.
Yeah.
How brown sugar baby.
But I was telling you off the podcast, I think when I'm thinking about Cirie Survivor Games, she kind of works in the moment, which is why I think she's doing so much in the moment things. And I don't think she thinks that much about the end game until she's in the end game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, that's when, like right now, I don't even think she has a preference. I think she's just working right now with what's going on right now. And then later on, she'll decide how she's going to get Felicia and her. Because how you going to get you and Felicia to finals?
Exactly. But what do you mean how? First of all, she created a core that was arguably about week 3, the strongest alliance in the game. They won 2 HOHs in a row that she was in the core of. She was in the core of the professors. She's now reshifted in a new alliance with Jag, Blue, Matt, and Jared, Izzy, and her, and they're still in the core while keeping the professors. So they're currently in the core of the entire house. They don't have to do anything. And Cirie and Felicia and Izzy, honestly, are in Final 3.
Felicia in Final 2? She wants a Jared in Final 2. I don't know why I genuinely was thinking.
I mean,
you don't think it matters that much?
That's her son, but honestly, the way Jared's target keeps growing,
he's gonna end up going home.
I think he's gonna get clipped. I
think Jared's just gonna end up going home, and as he will. But my thought process about the question was, I'm thinking Jared's not there. Cirie, Felicia in Final 3. Whoever else is there with them, it's like, could y'all win that comp? And not that they can't win comps, because Miss Felicia just won an HOH. But at the Final 3 HOH and Big Brother, girl, they always have a physical.
That's why it gets dangerous.
They have to change that.
The fact that she now wants to go to the end but be in this alliance and potentially go to jury with the Jags, Mats, America Blues.
It gets more physical.
It gets interesting because if they start winning more comps, they go on a few runs. I mean, you're in top 5 with Corey, and then his ass, who don't trust you that much, wins. Y'all can get fucked. I think there's a lot more rooms. Like, for example, Boy wasn't going to do that. Boy would not turn, but they don't like Boy. I think Red, someone who loves Cirie so much, would probably take her to the end. She don't like him. So it's like, it gets interesting. However, I mean, she's shown that she can reshift herself into the perfect position. Literally, I think her only downfall could be Izzy. If Izzy decides that she wants to win, that will be her biggest downfall. Because Corey can't even do it because Corey defaults to Jared, and Jared tells Cirie everything.
Yep.
The only person who could do it is Izzy because she knows.
And Izzy's the only person with the information of that's that nigga's mama. Izzy is the only person who knows she can't go to Jared. Everyone else thinks they can.
Because I think she's banking on maybe being in Final 3 with them. She wins that final HOH, and then she has a decision.
That's literally what she's talking about.
Regardless though, she's losing. She's losing to Cirie and she's losing
to either Jared or Cirie.
So she needs to wake up and cut one of them, or
else.
I don't know,
Girl,
both
let's
of
get
them.
into
She
this.
loses to either
She
one.
just cut both of them. Child, let's get into the siblings argument. So to talk about why
Child.
Izzy and Jared were arguing, we have to kind of back it up to, Jared and Blue. Jared and Blue are in somebody said a Haitianship, like they hate each other, but they're in a relationship. They don't really like each other.
Yeah.
But they're in a thing. Something's happening.
Whatever it is.
And
I hate seeing it on my feeds.
And Jared has asked Blue a few days ago about, her body count. And Blue was like, oh, I'm not telling you that, basically. And Jared was like, well, why not? Like, I feel like if you could tell me about your exes, you could tell me about your body count, basically. And Blue was kind of like, I don't really necessarily want to. I don't see why I should. I'm judging you based on from when I met you to now. So that any other information doesn't really matter, right? So that was kind of the conversation, and it made Blue feel some type of way a little bit. She was like, ugh, because she brought it up to Izzy. Yeah. She brought it up to Izzy. She was like, Izzy, your brother. No, she don't know that's his brother, her brother. But she was like, Izzy, me and Jared, we cool, but he has said a lot of comments that make me feel like, ooh, is he kind of thinking in the wrong way about certain things? Not in the way that I wouldn't necessarily agree with about certain things. And Izzy was like, girl, what's tea? So fast forward.
Right.
To last night. The conversation ends up getting brought up. It comes out. Blue, Jared, and Izzy are having a conversation about, the whole body count thing. And the question is asked, what would you do? I think Blue first brings it up, like out in the open. And then the question is asked, how would you feel about sleeping with a girl on the first night that you meet her or something like that? And Jared was like, ooh, I just feel like girls shouldn't really do that. And then they got into the whole double standard. Yeah. So Izzy is essentially telling Jared, like, I don't see why you see it that way. And Jared's like, I mean, that's just me personally. I don't think it's anything wrong or nothing. I just don't personally prefer that. And Izzy doesn't necessarily understand why he doesn't prefer it. So they kind of going back and forth about that situation. Lee, what you think? Does body count matter?
I mean, I just think this is such a middle school topic that a certain genre of podcast men obsess over, and it's just not. It's not cute. It's just not like you're an adult. Like none of that shit matters. Like, and it's like I don't understand like why this is even a topic of conversation in the Big Brother house. Like, it's just so annoying that like I can't escape it on social media. Now I have to watch it on live feeds and Big Brother. It's just I don't want to have to hear ignorant ass comments that just devalue women to property, because that's basically what it comes down to. Like he's basically saying like if you're someone who gives it up on the first date, he wouldn't see you again because you gave it up. We could be friends, we could be cool, but because you gave it up, I wouldn't. But it's like a woman is devalued in that way, but you yourself isn't. It's just
and he knows he literally said in the conversation, it's a double standard. It is. And Izzy, I think Izzy didn't know how to necessarily articulate why she felt some type of way about it, because it got to the point where he's like, well, that's just how I feel. Like, that's just for me. Like, y'all can do what y'all want. That's just for me. And she didn't really necessarily respond directly to that. And I feel like I tweeted it earlier today. I was like, I think Jared needs to think about why he feels this way, because he's kind of just thinking in his mind, I mean, that's just my preference. That's just what I prefer. And it's like, why is that your preference? And the reason that's his preference is because he must see an inequality between women who have a high body count and women who have a low body count. He sees women who have a high body count differently in a negative way. He would prefer a lower body count, which means he sees higher body count as negative, and he probably sees it as women are less valuable if they have a higher body count or if they give it up on the first day. And I think when you get deep down into the reason of it, it just goes back to misogyny, which is why Izzy has an issue. But also, since this is like so far from the true reason, it's like hard to directly call him a misogynist or say that it's a misogynistic viewpoint. Because I don't think he's a misogynist because he views this. He could just be having a misogynistic viewpoint about this topic.
It's just ignorant.
A lot of other
things. Very ignorant. Because I mean, this is not the first thing that people have felt some type of way about him doing. I mean, we have the Kirsten thing. We have the comments about where the family reunion, not the cookout. Because everyone's invited, and he calls women females. the slight weird, faces he's made at Corey wearing Blue's clothing. It's just like there's a lot
A
of
lot of things
things at
adding
this
up.
point becoming daily that is just like we know the type of person this is. We've seen this. I've seen this everywhere. He also doesn't believe his female friend, woman friends, should
We've
have
all seen
other
that.
male friends.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
they can have other men.
it's just like this ABC 1, 2, 3 like childish ass mindset. Honestly,
Elementary.
it's a lack of emotional intelligence, and honestly, it's just sad.
Yeah.
I see a
That's
lot
what
of
Blue
people.
said. That she thinks he lacks emotional intelligence. That's what she's like. I'm afraid, kind of like that he might not
That's
be
exactly
up
what it
there.
is. And then I don't know. The thing is, like after after Izzy and Jerry had this big argument, Blue still laid up there with him. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I think she is playing the game. I think she is playing him. So I'm not even looking at it like that. But it's just like I wish that at the end of the day he still feels justified in thinking that way because she's still lying here and she's still talking to me. And then he asked her about her body count. After that, still trying to press her for her body count. So I would just love if Blue was like, honestly, fuck it. Fuck the game. I'm done. I'm getting up. But I do think she is trying to play the game. Like she realizes.
Honestly, Jared is her only path to a potential win.
Her and this fake showmance with him is the only thing improving her position because Cirie literally hates her.
And what I do like is that when Izzy got up, Jared mentioned he's like, Izzy like did this, and Blue cut him off, and she was like, I'm gonna agree with everything Izzy said. So you can just dead it right there. And
then he went back to her body count.
And then he proceeded to continue to like ask her about. He starts off like explaining why he prefers to know the body count, and then it gets into him like, so why don't you want to tell me what your body count is? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 11? Like, what is it? And Blue's just like, I just don't see why it matters. I genuinely just don't. So after that, he continues to question her about her body count for a long time, and then eventually. And this is why Blue really does need to sit there and stay up there with him. Because if she didn't stay up there with him, she wouldn't have got all this tea. He eventually starts to say, yeah, my mom is from Jersey. Wait, Connecticut? What's the place? The place Cirie is from. He's like, yeah, my mom is from that place. And, ooh, I need to stop telling you stuff before you start putting 1 and 2 together because I got a secret that you don't need to know about. And Blue's like, well, is it like a secret that America will know? And he's like, yeah, it's something America knows, but none of the house
Not guests. The player.
Not the players. Not the players. He's like, none of the house guests knows, but America does. America, the country. And Blue's like, okay. And I think she's doing a good job at like not actually inquiring, but not seeming like she's inquiring. Because when she asks that question, does America know? That's like with the information she needs to know. Like she's asking that and he's telling her.
Now he just confirmed that this is a
gameplay secret that America knows about. She has all that information. And he's mentioning his mom. Like he knows it's about his mom.
Not to mention he walks around the house calling Mama Felicia.
Mama Cirie. If Blue doesn't wake up tomorrow, this is the thing. I will say she probably shouldn't speak it to anybody. I don't think she should say anything to anyone. So we might not know what she's thinking for a while. But if Blue doesn't wake up tomorrow thinking either Cirie or Felicia is his mama, I don't know what she was listening to. But that's the thing, she was inquiring like she was catching on. So I'm like, I'm not sure if she's gonna go all the way.
I don't know. I think asking if America knows is still vague. So I wouldn't go as far as saying like she knows that it's his mom. You know what I mean?
He literally was talking about his mom, and I shouldn't tell you too much about my mom before she needs to be paying attention, honestly. Like, because he was damn near saying it. But I don't think she's gonna know. I don't think she knows, but I feel like she should, because what else are you doing other than playing Big Brother? Like in that game, other than thinking about shit like that, what are you doing?
But that's how I know she's definitely playing him, because every time they speak about those things, which he does every day in almost every conversation with her, she's always doing little slick looks to the camera.
At the camera. Like, he's every time he said female, she said,
he said, I gotta stop looking at females as property. She looked at the camera like, okay.
Why did he say that?
He says a lot.
Females is property. Y'all, we out. No, is there anything else you want to say?
No, that was nothing else.
Boom. Tune in for more occasionally recaps later on. We out.